Welcome to another edition of Silver Sneakers Energy Chi. I'm your host, Jesse Sweater, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, Silver Sneaker Flex instructor. You can find out more about me by visiting my website at www.jessesweater.com. Now this is Energy Chi 1.3. We're going to review those first three formats once again. So now there's three parts of this series at this point where we do 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and it's all the same format so that you can just continue to practice and experience the energy chi, or would you like to say the chi, where you're feeling that life energy. Now, what is Energy Chi? Funkified maniacs worldwide across the globe, Silver Sneaker members, new members, YouTube subscribers, and those Facebook live streamers. It is when you take Tai Chi and Qigong and you put them together, you get Energy Chi. It's soft martial arts, redirecting force through control and circular movement patterns, along with the Qigong with movement, breathing, and meditation. And you put it all together and you get the Energy Chi, where we take the upper extremities, we take the lower extremities, and we take that breathing and we try to put it all together and create this flow where it's not overreaching and it's not over breathing. It's just right. It's a flow for you, and that's why we continue to come back and practice these formats. Now, without further ado, you know who's back? Chip, chip, style, profile, real deal, shake, bake, moving, grooving. Camouflage wearing, pink shoe rocking, high flying, limousine riding, Silver Sneaker Flex instructor bringing you this edition 1.3 Energy Chi, the first three formats coming your way. Now, before we get started, a few things. 5 to be exact. You have lightheadedness, pain, dizziness, discomfort, or fatigue. Hit the pause button. Coming back a little bit later. As you can see, I'm going to be in that standing position. You can do this in the seated position as well. I got plenty of Energy Chi formats out there in the seated position, but we're advancing as we go through it. So the standing position is ultimately the best way to do the Energy Chi because it takes the pressure off the shoulders. Now, in that seated position, I know some of you do have some inabilities. Some of you might have less core strength, or you might have an injury that's impacting you, or you're just in the aging process and you can't stand for long periods of time. So if you can stand, great. If you can't stay in that seat, you can do all this from there. You're just going to put a little more strain on the shoulders. So I want you to be aware of that and use those precautions ahead of time. And then we get into that number 5, that virtual liability. You should always consult with your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise with me, you assume all dangerous, hazards, risks of such participation. Exercises demonstrated by the instructor in this online class can be demanding. If you're unable to safely perform these exercises, again, please modify them or choose a different set of exercises. Seated, standing, your choice. Modify that movement as you're doing that circular patterns. And then number 2, remember, I can't see you, right? So pay attention to your form, pay attention to mechanics. I can't hear you as well. So slow it down, work on the flow, don't overextend, tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone, chest out, shoulders up, back and down, elongate, lengthen that spine. If you're in the standing position, you want those toes over knees, knees over hips, hips over shoulders. You got the idea. Standing nice and tall, right? Horse stance, right? There's different stances to what we do. We're going to be in the horse stance the entire time as we do these motions today in those first 3 formats of Energy Chi. Now, breathe, inhale, exhale. That breathing pattern is that inhalation as you take your arms up and your body's up. It's a nice inhalation. It's about a 3 to 5 count, and then as you exhale and you push down and in, it's about a 6 to 8 count. Again, that inhalation goes where those hands go. So if those hands go right to here, that's the inhalation, or the vice versa. Where that inhalation goes, that's where the hands go. You don't want to keep going after you're out of breath and overreach and overextend. You want to keep that in a nice, where the breath stops, that's where the hands stop. Where the breath stops here, that's where the hands stop. And you just keep that flow going back and forth. So hopefully you get a better understanding of that as we do it. Breathing is probably the hardest aspect to do, and some of the flow as well. And then you get to 4, ready to proceed to exertion 1 through 3. 3 being the high, 1 being the low. Right now you're relaxed, you're confident, you're in that seat, you're in the standing position, just getting used to this. Maybe you've never done it before. Number 2, I don't know if this is the place to start, but hey, join me. You'll learn. 2, heart rate goes up, But you're still comfortable. You're not overreaching. You're shifting your weight. You're feeling that flow. You get a nice deep breath. Hands, legs, breaths, they're all working together in continuity. If you get to that 3, you're out of breath. Heart rate's up. You're shifting your weight too far. Your stance is off. You're losing your balance. I'm going to bring it back down, right? Shoulder pain, discomfort, we don't want any of that. And then 5, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We want to get started, we want to get going. I'm going to drop those hands down to the side, slight bend in those knees, chest is out, shoulders up, back and down, and then I'm just going to float those hands up to the front. So when I say I float my hands up to the front, I'm kind of just floating them right to here. There you go, and I'm bringing those hands together. There you go, and I'm just going to roll them together. I'm in that horse stance. Remember, riding that horse, a little bend, right? Feel that energy. That's the chi. Take them out. And then drop them down right to that palm. Now we're going to go into that first motion. That is that up and down motion where you're just taking those hands up. I'll show you from that side view. And then you're just kind of dropping them down. It's a nice raise. And then it's a nice... And if you see my hands, they're not overextending. So a lot of times what happens is we try to overextend those arms, we try to lift them up nice and high. No, you put a lot of strain on your shoulders. We're not trying to put strain on the shoulders. We're trying to just like a nice inhalation here and slam that rug down. I'm out of breath here, so I need to breathe again. I'm out of breath here in that inhalation, so I need to exhale my breath. And now the up and down motion for me is just you're ascending and then you're descending down. Now this motion you don't have to ascend and descend. You can just lift the arms and just float the arms up and down. But if you start learning to use that lower extremity and that lower body, you will build greater balance, you will build greater mobility, and then you will create an aerobic baseline. So, and eventually then you'll get aerobic efficiency. Right now you're just really trying to create that baseline on this scale. And it's just up and down, nice inhalation and nice exhalation. So hopefully everybody has that as we transition. Watch my hands. They're going to turn out, palms are going to face you now, and I'm going to take that left over that right. Now, if you notice me, I just kind of shifted, and I'm trying to just add a little shift to our movements now. So a nice inhalation here, as they go nice and wide, that left comes, and I shift to that right side. It becomes a little more smoother, a little more natural. A nice inhalation here. As I open up, I should be in that center as my arms go nice and wide, and then as I go to that left side, that right hand comes over to the left, and I'm just shifting into that center, and then I'm shifting. Or you can do this stationary. As I show you this from the stationary position is just nice inhalation here, and then a nice exhalation here. Or you can take them out, nice inhalation here, and then a nice exhalation as I drop down. And that's the ascending and descending motion as you go up and down with that motion. So again, there's 3 ways to do it. Stationary, nice inhalation here, and then a nice exhalation here, nice inhalation here, and then a nice exhalation here. You can do the ascending aspect, where it's a nice inhale here, And then you're descending down, which this is more of a little more comfortability for me. But for those first time learners, you might need to just stay in the stationary position. Nice inhalation here. And then exhalation. As you can see, my arms, they don't go 60, 80 degree range of motion. They're not going full extension. They're just kind of circling through. Or you can shift weight as I shift. And lean myself to the left. As I open up, I come back to that center. And as that left hand comes over, it goes to the right side. And I'm just kind of shifting the body weight side to side. And I'm just working on the flow this way. So you have 3 different options. As we go into that next part where we're going to reach up and down, and it's going to be a crescent moon rotation. And I'll show you that first move. So that first move is just up and down, really no shift to it, and you just kind of bring them back down. So this is the first way to do it. Nice inhale here. Lift up that left arm, right arm goes down to the pocket, and then you just kind of circle them back through into that center. So nice inhalation. This is with no movement, just inhalation, exhalation. And now this is with a shift. So I'm kind of just shifting. I'm not emptying out yet. And I'm just shifting that body weight to the left, back to that center. Nice inhalation here. I don't overreach, and I circle back. No emptying out yet, and now I'm going to go to more that advanced where we empty out and we're going to a single leg position where the right leg slides, left hand still lifts, and now as you step, it's a nice flow. You should always bring those hands back together to that front. It's a nice inhalation here, and then you kind of just, nice breath, and then a nice exhale here. I'm sliding through. Exhale here, nice inhale here. And then exhale here. As you can see, those arms are not really going up too high because my inhalation ends right about here, and then I got to exhale and I got to shoot it back through. Nice flow back. And then a nice exhale here. So it's enough just to lift that leg up, slide it, and then step and nice smooth flow through. Nice and wide. And then bring them back in. Drop down the side. I hope that you learn some of those formats today as I advance that 1.3, and the next time we go to it, as it becomes 1.4, it becomes a little more difficult as I push that right hand out and I move my body to the left. Nice inhalation here. Push the right hand out and turn the thoracic spine to your left. One more time through. Nice inhale. And you're going to get another inhale again. Left hand goes out this time. Turn to your right. And inhale again. And breathe it out. And breathe it out. Bring it back in. And now watch. I'm going to put all three together into the flow. Here we go. Create a nice flow. We're going to do 3 of each. Here we go. Nice inhalation here. That's 1. That's 2. Get that third one. Then we're going to transition as those arms come down. Take them nice and wide. What we're going to do is we're going to take that left over right. This is number 4. And number 6 right here. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. Finishing that with number 6. Number 6 this way. Coming back. There you go. I'm going to throw in a new one. Here we go. And now I just did that cycle of the moon to transition. And I don't expect you to get this one today, but that is going to be number 4 when we get to the next format. Go in peace, my friends. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed it. Should have made you a little more soothing, a little more flowing, and a little more with energy chi. Peace, my friends. Window, wall, floor, door. My heart. May that light be a lamp to your feet, light to your path. Land and being. Peace. 1.3. Energy chi.